All right, guys, it's time to be your best you. You know, April, it is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and I'm really excited of this executive director who is part of PCA Georgia, Prevent Child Abuse Georgia. Jennifer Stein's in the building. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What a beautiful sunny day.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, love it. Spring is in the air, and so is our awareness, not just this month, but all year long in regards to child abuse. And you're with PCA Georgia. So explain what that is and what does it do here in Georgia?
Very good. Well, we are the state chapter of Prevent Child Abuse America.
Okay.
Across the country, we have state chapters, and it's really our role to help educate and convene as the state lead for child abuse prevention. So that can be anything from partnering with other state agencies to bring those prevention dollars and services,
Right.
And build that network of support across the state, all drilling down to supportive services to families, because we want to meet families before they're in crisis.
Right.
We want to work with them at the front end.
And the statistics, Jennifer, are so startling. So I say that your organization, I know, brings awareness and educating. How are you taking it a step further inside this month of April, being that it's National Child Abuse Prevention Month?
Well, it's opportunities such as being on the air with you,
Yes.
And getting the messaging out there. But one of the things that we also try to do is highlight unintentional neglect, which is much more prevalent. More children come to the attention of DFACs for that reason alone, where sometimes they may not have the resources, they are living in poverty or below poverty.
Right.
They're good people that just don't necessarily have the support that they need,
Right.
to be able to provide for their children for optimal child development.
Like if it's a single parent and they're working nonstop
Yes.
and the child's home many hours,
Yes,
it
and
can
the
be tough.
stresses of finding childcare.
Yes.
You
Oh, my
know,
goodness.
And I would say also supportive jobs that are understanding
Right.
of raising a family.
Right.
So that's where we really focus our majority of our efforts. We have some great partners in the state that hone in on child sexual abuse prevention, and we work alongside with them.
Right.
But because the bigger need is reaching those families to help them overcome the adversities that they face day in and day out, that's where our umbrella tries to cover the state with those efforts.
Wonderful. And let me just say, this queen has a gift for discerning organizational capacity. I mean, you've been implementing some real collaborative vision of excellence throughout your span of being not just with this organization since 2021, but other organizations. Do you have an impactful success story since being with the program that Prevent Child Abuse Georgia being this past year or looking forward to?
Sure. Well, I'll go back in time if that's okay.
Yes.
Before I worked with Prevent Child Abuse Georgia, I was actually with one of our local councils. We have a formal structure of local councils sprinkled throughout the state, and they are our direct service providers. They're working with families 24/7, 7 days a week in all sorts of different ways, programs and services. And one really instrumental way is called home visiting.
Okay.
And we had one family home visiting, as you can imagine, inviting somebody into your home that you don't know, and allowing them to be your educator, your support, your neutral party, kind of navigate this parenting journey. And over a 3-year time of working with one particular family, we saw where the engagement that the parents had with the students' success at school increased significantly. We were able to introduce job skills for the father.
Nice.
The father was able to slowly work his way up at Kubota to a point 3 years later where they were able to buy their own home.
Amazing.
They were renting a single wide trailer that was not in the greatest of shapes at a very high weekly rate.
Right.
And now they're self-sufficient and the children are thriving. The daughter had a cleft lip and she was able to be referred for surgery. So it's really just wrapping around these families.
Yep.
And building trust with them that we're there to lift them up. We're not there as a method of surveillance.
Right.
Not to say that we don't still need to report as necessary, but it's really what can we do first to make sure the family has all that they need to be successful.
And that's amazing how you give the tools and some really effective strategies because there is no manual how to be a parent. And especially with the new age of these children, you're like, I can understand their level of language. How can I adapt to them, especially in this social media world?
Oh my goodness, yes. That brings another whole difficulty layer for parents
Yes.
trying to figure that out.
Absolutely.
You're so right. Yes.
Well, when we come back, because there's so much riveting information that we have to talk about, what is PCA Georgia doing now and how we as a community can actually be a part of Child Abuse Prevention Month, CAP Month, and all year long, right here on Classics 102.9. Stay tuned. Oh, we're being our best you today with Executive Director from Prevent Child Abuse Georgia, Jennifer Stein. And we've been talking about some ways that we as a community can be involved inside April and all year long for prevention efforts. So Jennifer, you were saying there's a community action guide happening. Talk more about that and where we can get information.
Very good. Out on our website, PCAGeorgia.org, right on the front page, you will see where you can go to a Child Abuse Prevention Month toolkit and be able to download the Community Action Guide. There are social media posts that you can use.
Nice.
Making it super easy. We also have just different promotional things, editor's notes that you can put in the newspaper, various messaging techniques, but also we as individuals, what can we do to help bolster a family's protective factors?
Right.
So that way they can thrive and do well by raising their children.
Right, because I know a lot of people may not want to be involved or see something maybe in their neighborhood or in their children's classroom or even in your own family. So there's always a way to approach it in a less forceful way. So looking ahead, what are the key priorities and initiatives for Prevent Child Abuse Georgia coming up in the forthcoming year?
Very good. Well, one of the things that we and our stakeholders have been working on is building a child and family well-being ecosystem.
Okay.
So back in 2020, we released our state's child abuse and neglect prevention plan.
Mm-hmm.
It had not been touched since 1992.
Wow.
Yes. So one of our big partners that we work with is the prevention section of the Division of Family and Children Services.
Okay.
So prior to 2020, we went on a road show throughout the state, developed this state plan, and we have a lot of regional ambassadors and other state partners such as the Department of Public Health, Head Start, Technical College System of Georgia. We're all working together to help implement these different science-informed strategies. Our hope in the coming year is to really create a better messaging kit,
Right.
so that way people that are not part of the child well-being industry can find their place in all of this, such as our business sector, sometimes our unsuspected partners. When you think of our rec departments, we really believe connection matters. And so where do people connect? How can we build safe environments, communities where people can come together
Right.
and share space and dialogue and really be able to be in tune with one another, perhaps the needs of that family.
Right.
So that way they feel comfortable reaching out during that time of need or maybe when they've hit a wall or a crisis.
Because everyone needs somebody and also the tools, to make us better parents and to, make our society better in our community. So where can we get more information? Your website or follow on social?
Certainly. If you go out to our website, PCAGeorgia.org, if you go to the bottom, you're going to see all of our social handles and be able to click on there. One thing we are facing is a little bit of a shadow ban. Facebook Meta was experiencing some difficulties there with some of their filtering and choices and things getting into the wrong hands.
Wow.
So if you search child abuse right now, even with the word prevent in front of it, it's going to be blocked. We're working with Meta to try and get this corrected. But
Right.
in the meantime, if you go out to PCAGeorgia.org, you will see our social handles. You can like us there and really stay in the loop.
Yeah.
We provide a lot of training statewide to professionals, community members. We have a network of trainers so that we can plug you in locally with what might be happening in your own community.
So effective. Oh my goodness, guys. Make sure you check it out. PCAGeorgia.org doing some amazing things, promoting awareness, educating us, and also just making sure we have the right tools so we could be successful in our inspiration of our next generation.
Yes, they need us.
Thank you so much, Jennifer, for your time, your efforts, and all that you guys do, not just inside the month of April, but all year long. Great to know it.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Being your best you with Executive Director Prevent Child Abuse Georgia, Jennifer Stein. Check them out at pcageorgia.org to be your best you. What's to come inside your Throwback Thursday? I'll reveal in the wrap up at 2:48.